Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and go into the verse at this point. So we're in chapter 14, verse 39. This is the disappearance of Shri Krishna Bhagavan. Still visible, Prabhu?
Yes,
Yes.
visible.
So last week we did 38. So this is verse 39. Kachitte anamayanam tata prashta teja vipashima vabdhamano vajnata kim vatata chirostata sita kachitte anamayam tata prashta teja vipashime vabdhamano vajnata kim vatata chirostata kachitte Nanmayan tata prashta teja vipashime vabdhamano vajnata kim vatata chirosata. Anybody like to read the translation? Or I'm sorry, the verse.
Yeah.
Verse. Yes, sir.
Te namayam tata bhrashtateja vibhasi me alabdhamano bhatnyatah kimva tata chiroshita.
Thank you, Narthavilas Prabhu. What else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Kachite anamayam tata Brishtateja vibhasi me alabdhamano avajnata kimva tata chiroshita. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody else? We don't have.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Kasiste namayama yaraha tata brashta teja vibhasi me alabdha mano vajrinataha kimva tata karositaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and read the synonyms and then the verse in purport by His Divine Grace. Kachit, whether they, your, anamayam, health is all right, tata, my dear brother, prashta, bereft, teja, luster, vibhavshi, appear, may, to me, alabdha manaha, without respect, vagnavataha, neglected, kim, whether, va, or, tata, my dear brother, chirositaha, because of long residence. Translation by His Divine Grace, Prabhupada Ki Jai. My brother Arjun, please tell me whether your health is all right. You appear to have lost your bodily luster. Is this due to others disrespecting and neglecting you because of your long stay at Dwarka? My brother Arjun, please tell me whether your health is all right. You appear to have lost your bodily luster. Is this due to others disrespecting and neglecting you because of your long stay at Dwarka? Richard Bonnetapur, I think you already did this one last week, didn't you? Because I remember the word luster. Am I wrong?
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm
This
sorry.
is the one I did last week.
I'm sorry. I'm in pulled in many directions this week. So, well, I contemplated this verse, so if you forgive me and bless me, I can speak a little bit. You did a wonderful explanation. So whatever I do would be just me a reflection of what you were doing and inspired me to read and hear. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. You don't need my permission, but
I need
yes.
your blessings.
I don't have any blessings, but I pray Srimati Radharani blesses you with all the words to speak for her pleasure and our pleasure and Mahaprabhu's pleasure. And
Thank you. So, Srila Prabhupada's purport. From all angles of vision, Kama the Maharaja, meaning Yudhishthira Maharaj, inquired from Arjun about the welfare of Dwarka. But he concluded at last that as long as Lord Sri Krishna himself was there, nothing inauspicious could happen. But at the same time, Arjun appeared to be bereft of his bodily luster, and thus the king inquired of his personal welfare and asked so many vital questions. My brother Arjun, please tell me whether your health is all right. You appear to have lost your bodily luster. Is this due to others disrespecting and neglecting you because of your long stay at Dwarka? Kind of like, a statement of, you've kind of overstayed your welcome. You go as a guest and then you decide to stay, much longer than the host intended. Devotees are nice, but sometimes even they have limits, maybe. So this is in the context of Arjun's, Yudhishthira Maharaj's perception, observance of inauspicious signs in the kingdom. Because he's a personal associate of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, his senses are very alert. When one meets sannyasi, one will see this immediately, that they're highly observant of things that we kind of neglect. Because of the Paramatma channel, they have great receptivity to what's occurring in the world and perception. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, being a great Vaishnava and an empowered representative of Sri Krishna Bhagavan ruling the earth, he became aware. And as we see in the prior chapter, where Vidurji comes to explain to Dhritarashtra that he must leave the palace for his own spiritual welfare, Vidurji had compassionate communication with Yudhishthira Maharaj because he never told him about the departure of Sri Krishna. So anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyamitam cha. So Sri Krishna Bhagavan explains in Bhagavad Gita that austerity of speech is to speak that which is truthful. That, and then that's level 1, priority 1. Priority 2 is austerity of speech is to speak that which is beneficial to the listener. Not only should be truthful, but it should be beneficial as well. And then priority 3 is speak that which is pleasing. Not only should it be truthful, not only should it be beneficial, but it should be pleasing. The verse doesn't keep saying this, but other explanation by acharyas say point 4 should be, am I the right person to speak this truthful, beneficial, pleasing item or topic to the listener? And then item 5 should be, is this the right time for me to speak such things? If it's not truthful, then we shouldn't speak it. And if it's truthful but not beneficial, according to Bhagavad Gita, we should not speak it. And if it's truthful and not beneficial and not pleasing, then we should definitely not speak it. And then, if I'm not the right person to speak this truthful, beneficial, pleasing thing, then maybe I should wait for a different time or somebody else should speak it. So this is a very practical instruction that is being explained in Bhagavatam through the behavior of Yudhishthira Maharaj and Vidurji. So We should remember this. Now, Vidurji did not speak because he knew it was not going to be pleasing to Yudhishthira Maharaj about Shri Krishna's departure. Whereas he spoke to Dhritarashtra because he knew it was going to be beneficial and not pleasing right now, but he had waited many, many years to speak this, and he felt this was the right time to speak to Dhritarashtra Maharaj because it would benefit him. Right time, right circumstance. So here, this is what Yudhishthira Maharaj is perceiving and understanding by what's going on in the kingdom. And here's Arjun. Because a pure devotee of Bhagwan, one who's totally surrendered to Bhagwan in body, mind, words, and deeds, they do not care when they leave their bodies or by what method, because they're leaving everything in Shri Krishna's hands. And so happily, as Srila Prabhupada explains in chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita, they return back to association of Bhagwan in the spiritual world. But in this situation, although Shri Arjun is considered the epitome of, as we were discussing yesterday in our Bhagavatam group, he is considered the epitome, the primary example of Shri Krishna's friend, Sakya, Ras, in the setting of quote unquote the city. Meaning that in that relationship, formality is not there. Even though one is not an equal with Shri Krishna, one may act like one. So there's a decreased sense of reverence and there's an increased sense of intimacy when one goes from Lasya Ras to Sakya Ras. So Arjuna is at that point of view, he's a Vidya pure devotee of the Lord, as explained in our Shastras and specifically in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it says that. And so this person, Shri Arjun, is feeling an incredible pain in his heart. And Shri Yudhishthira is having feelings of great dread. He's dreading. And in Shri Arjun, this creates, and in Yudhishthira Maharaj, we can only appreciate a sense of uselessness and hopelessness in everything. Their purpose in life. Like a deep crack that's formed in their existence. That's such a loss of such a loving, inspiring, protective friend is creating in their life. It's creating a question of what is the point in being alive? What's the purpose of living? What's the meaning of my life? And so for all of us, times like this have occurred or will occur. That existential issue, as the philosophers, Western philosophers call it, our existence that kind of comforts us at one point will confront us at another point. The inevitable departure from this world that we will all take. One time, a reporter was interviewing Srila Prabhupada and saying, Swamiji, that this was in the 70s, so India was not necessarily flourishing. There were some consequences to being occupied by a foreign power, which totally, and systematically removed all wealth and pride and place in the world that India had occupied. you know, when that happened, India went into an impoverished state, and only recently has it been starting to flourish again, at least materially, maybe not in other ways. But at that point in the 1970s, India was having problems with food crisis, enough food, starvation, nutritional illnesses, etc. And so this reporter said to Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, it seems like Swamiji, India has a very high mortality rate. And Srila Prabhupada said, excuse me, the mortality rate in the entire world is what? It's 100%. Maybe faster at that time in India in one's life. But he said the entire world has that, 100% mortality rate. So there will be the inevitable departure for all of us from this world. And that we will find ourselves in that unplanned for situation. But we should know that the death for a devotee, especially a pure devotee like Sri Arjun, means a heart that can no longer contain the love for his divine beloved Sri Krishna. And when one understands that, then one can experience the love and bhakti. So such a departure in many ways of advanced devotees and of course Sri Krishna Bhagwan is filled in spite of the sadness with so many blessings. In our lives, when we meet devotees and they may depart this planet, we do not know them before they manifested or appeared in this world. But we see in their life that they grew a network of loving connections throughout their life. And therefore, surely such a person's life and love in their short journey in this world will touch the hearts of certain portions of society or humanity along the way. And therefore, our grief, Sri Arjun's grief, and we'll see this in chapter 15, will be a testament to celebration of the appearance of Sri Krishna Bhagavan. Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur in Sardarshini commentary in Canto 1, Chapter 1 said and describes the Devatas approaching Vishnu at the shores of the Milk Ocean about the distress of the earth and requesting his blessings. There, Sri Vishnu speaks to Brahma through the Antakarana, through the mind. And Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, when you realize this, you realize how amazing that he's speaking to the Devatas through their mind, Brahmaji's mind, but in his appearance in Braj, that is an incalculable blessing. So, we need to, Arjun, despair is a celebration yet of his friendship with Krishna. The very miracle of Sri Krishna Bhagavan appearing in our lives and how he touches everyone in his pastimes here, which is essential, vital, and irreplaceable, not just for Arjun, Sri Arjun or Sri Yudhishthira Maharaj, but for us as well. But in Arjun's case, it's an irreplaceable loss because it was unrequited friendship and love that Krishna Bhagavan gave to him. So in times like this, when the physical presence is not there, then the relationship becomes heightened. It remains even longer. Our love and our affection for such a special personality, and I'm just using Arjun's feelings as a surrogate for us. What's the lesson? Their presence becomes so much more appreciated that we experience this, and we realize that it's a special gift in our lives from Shri Shri Radha Krishna. And Arjun realizes that. He says, now that I've lost everything material, I'm relishing like anything the instructions and association Shri Krishna Bhagavan gave when he spoke the Gita to me. So the idea will be out of sadness will come purpose. Because the foundational relationship that Arjun has, Yudhishthira Maharaj have with Sri Krishna is love. And that relationship will continue even when Bhagwan has disappeared from their material vision. A sudden shift in time that we call death is our challenge to reorient our relationship with one who has departed. And that's what Sri Arjun and Sri Yudhishthira Maharaj are going through. They're feeling the absence of somebody that gave them unconditional love like a mother and protection. We see in Mahabharata at the end of the war when Arjun comes back in the chariot with Sri Krishna Bhagwan. He starts to leave the chariot. He waits for Sri Krishna Bhagwan to step out of the chariot. But Sri Krishna Bhagwan said, no, you leave the chariot first. And once Arjun leaves the chariot, okay. Then Bhagwan comes out of the chariot, and the Mahabharata says the chariot immediately collapsed because of all the weapons that were fired at that chariot. And the departure of Sri Krishna from that chariot collapsed. Because it was him, Bhagwan, who was holding that up. So the departure of Sri Krishna is causing Arjun and Yudhishthira Maharaj to reorient on the connection with the one who's departed. They know they'll continue in their love with this relationship, even though they won't have his physical presence in their life anymore. But they can have parts of him and his instruction in their heart that no one can take away. Because this person, Swami Bhagavan Krishna, was not limited to his embodiment, the physical body, apparently, when he was here in the world. And they realize in the subsequent chapter that their true person, they themselves, are more because of the presence and association they received from Sri Krishna while he was on this earth. The gift that Sri Krishna gave to Arjun and Yudhishthira Maharaj is a gift of a bigger heart. Had he not been there, they would have been deprived of this gift. And they're such loving, caring personalities because of his presence. And they become, and we become the messengers of love of such a person. And for them, currently it's a time of great sorrow. That is okay. They have to experience that. Because Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, Bhakti is that which tolerates misery. Mm. I see this in my work where someone may be in relationship with their mother, their father, their child, uh, their loved one, their spouse, and the person has physically succumbed to the cancer, etc. But I usually call them. I used to more so than even now. Just busyness. You run out of hours in the day. But it's in the quiet moments when they're alone that talking to them is, a chance to comfort them. And I see that they're suffering because of the absence of that person. Because the focus is on the actual point of departure, but the focus needs to be in the totality of that person's earthly existence. And when they hear that that reminder that we all need, then that gives them strength to continue on, to feel the presence of that person in their life, even at their departure. So, how much more so for Sri Krishna and Sri Yudhishthira Maharaj? They are messengers of his love. The Gita, just like Sri Krishna Bhagavan called out to the gopis with the flute, the Gita is Sri Krishna's Bhagavan's flute to all of us to receive his gifts, his message of love. Mm. Arjun says on later, I'll show you this. Something very bittersweet. Let's go. He says, now I'm attracted to those instructions imparted to me by Swami Bhagavan, Krishna, Govinda, because they're impregnated with instructions for relieving the burning heart in all circumstances of time and space. All time and space. So Arjun's appreciation of the message of the Gita increased. He's saying to Yudhishthira Maharaj, I can't say anything more. Don't ask me anything more. Because those words of Govinda, which were so suitable at that time and of course forever, they break my heart. break my heart is what Arjun says here. Well, notice what he says in the next one. Srila Prabhupada, a very long purport about the glories of Gita. There. He says, thus being deeply absorbed in thinking of the instructions of the Lord, which were imparted in great intimacy of friendship and in thinking of his lotus feet, Arjun's mind became pacified and free from all material contamination. So he's contemplating the lotus feet of Krishna because he's remembering his words with deep affection, and he's regaining steadiness and becoming calm. So though his intelligence is full of pain due to separation, but the appearance of Bhagwan in the form of contemplation of the instructions and the pastimes, one caused Arjun to become pacified, peaceful. And so his burning pain was, extinguished, and he became steady. So this is what I had to say on this verse. Go back, please, to the verse. Very Bhanata Prabhu for speaking again on the wonderful verse that you spoke about so beautifully last week. Ansakalpatrapyasya kripausandhavivacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. I welcome any corrections, comments, reflections, etc.
You have a very kind and compassionate, sweetheart, Prabhu. I appreciate you sharing it with us. Reflected in your meditations. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additions, corrections?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Very beautiful lecture, Prabhuji. You brought out the true heart of the Pandavas and how the Sakya bhav, that is the relation with Krishna, how that is expressed. So very high level, detailed discussions. So I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, thank you. Please come together for the Sunday feast that we'll have at the temple today at 11:30. All voices Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Bhaktan Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. I'll stop sharing. Thank you for giving me that precious gift of your time. Appreciate it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. This is a very wonderful class. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Srila
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. Prabhu, I was just reflecting, were the gopis ever given the instructions of Bhagavad Gita? I know Uddhava went to meet them all, but they were also lamenting so much in separation. But
I'm planning to speak in a way on this in Sunday feast. Not
very good.
directly in there, but I don't know whether will you be there, or I know you're very busy with all your services and Meenakshi itself as well.
Is it today, Prabhu? Yeah, I'll be there. Yes.
Yeah, it's today.
Okay.
Please bless me that I can speak something meaningful. So I'll try, not just specifically about gopis, but at a level for all of us. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I want to meditate on it a little bit more. basically what I wanted to before I answer that. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Krishna Murray Prabhu. I know it's in India time, so it's late and you have to be going to work, but appreciate.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Uh,
Thank you for allowing me to attend. Thank you so much.
who am I to allow to attend? Srila Prabhupada created the setting. Okay. All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
Hari
Safe journeys, Prabhu. Nice to see you.
Hari.
Thank you. Thank you, Vidaktamala Prabhu, Natamalas Prabhu, Radha Kun Mataji. Thank you, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.